Some things you might not have known about Ed Grimley next on Retro Serial. Hey everyone, welcome to Retro Serial. I'm your host, Ian C. I'm glad you could be joining us today where we talk about this character right here, Ed Grimley, one of my all-time favorite characters to ever appear on Saturday Night Live, and I love this Saturday morning cartoon as well. But we're getting a little bit ahead of ourselves. Recently, I was trying to develop my backdrop here a little bit more, and I'm going to be developing it further in the future. But I was going through some of my stuff looking for Gen X memorabilia, and I found some things. I found some old cassettes, I found some old CDs from that era, and I came across this character right here. There are a few characters who had a bigger impact on me personally than this guy, Ed Grimley. I loved him on Saturday Night Live, and I also loved his Saturday morning cartoon. I was about 14 or 15 when the character came out, and then when the doll came out, of course, I had to get it. Doll, action figure, whatever you want to call it. This memorabilia piece right here, I definitely had to get it, and I got it when it came out. This is an original. This is not a reprint or a reproduction at all. I've said many times that whatever was coming on Saturday Night Live when you were 14, 15 in high school, junior high school, really affects you for the rest of your life. And this is none more true than this guy right here, Ed Grimley. I love this character, and my friends used to rave about how well I was able to imitate him. Now, I'm not going to do that imitation for you, I must say. I'm not going to be able to do that imitation for you today, but let me just assure you, I was really good at imitating Ed Grimley, and my friends used to want me to imitate him. They'd get around and be like, oh, do the Ed Grimley impersonation, do the Ed Grimley impersonation. So when I found this thing, I thought, hey, let's look him up, let's talk about him, let's talk about his origin, let's talk about some stuff you may or may not have known. So that's what we're going to be talking about today. But before we get to that, would you please do me the honor of subscribing to this channel, liking it, and giving it a thumbs up. Share it on your favorite social media. That always means a lot to me. Also, hit the bell notification if you want to be notified as to when these things come out, and if you want to part with some of your hard-earned cash to see me develop this place even further and even better, please hit the link below to the Buy Me a Coffee. Now, interesting facts about Ed Grimley. Of course, we all know that Ed Grimley is the brainchild of Martin Short. What you may not know is that he is actually the amalgamation of Martin's own ideas along with real people Martin knew in his own life. One of those people was a photographer friend of his who had the habit of raising his voice at the end of his sentences. So he would say things, well, I didn't take any pictures, but I took some slides. And so Martin took that idea and exaggerated it and ran with it. The other person who influenced this character was Martin Short's own sister-in-law. Martin noticed that his sister-in-law had the ability to maintain a childlike excitement even into her 30s over some simple and more mundane things. And so with that in mind, this character was created. That clip at the end and the excitement that he has over the smallest things. Of course, the exaggeration of those things, the high pants, and the must say, all was out of Martin Short's own brain. The hair was inspired by Dan Aykroyd's brother. When developing the character, Martin Short used to put a little bit of gel in his hair and spike it up at the top, and Peter Aykroyd would laugh. And the higher it went, the more he laughed, but the more the audience laughed. And so finally, one time he said, let's just go for the gusto and put it up into this horn-like character that has come to be the signature look of Ed Grimley. Ed Grimley was not popular on just one sketch comedy show, but two sketch comedy shows. Yes, he appeared for the first time in 1982 on SCTV. But when Martin Short got hired for the one season he was on SNL, he revived this character from 1984 to 1985. So popular was this character, in fact, that it inspired, well, at least this toy, and it also inspired a cartoon. Of course, no discussion of Ed Grimley would be complete without mentioning the completely mental misadventures of Ed Grimley, the cartoon based on the character. Unfortunately, it only ran from one season in 1988. It was produced by Hanna-Barbera and it aired on NBC, and I was sad when it was over. I used to love that show, and even though I was 15 when it aired, I still found the humor to be quite mature and enjoyed all the episodes, at least all the episodes that I was able to watch. I was well above the time where you woke up early and poured your Saturday morning bowl of cereal and watched cartoons, but I have to tell you that even at 15 years old, every time I watched that show, I was impressed with how good the jokes were and how well it was written. Did you watch the show? Did you think that the jokes were mature? Please let me know in the comments below. And finally, we get to the toy line. Well, it's not much of a toy line. As far as I can tell, there were 2 dolls that were produced, both in 1988 and both by Tyco. Now, the other doll kind of has a slightly larger head and a smaller body. It looks a little bit more cartoonish, but I've never seen that doll in real life. I've only seen it in pictures, and I could be totally wrong about who produced it and when it was produced, because I simply don't know. I'm just reading what the website told me. If you know more about that doll, please let me know in the comments below. Of course, this doll came out, and I got this when I was about 15 years old. It was about 1988 when this came out. And as you can tell, it has a drawstring on it and gives you some of the signature sayings of Ed Grimley. However, mine's a little bit broken, as you can already tell by the way I pulled this at the beginning. So here, listen to this. See? It pulls way too fast. Now, I can make this work a little bit if I slow it down. So if I slow it down, you can hear it a little bit better. Well, that one wasn't so good. Let's try it one more time before we end the show, okay? He said, yeah, that's a pain that's going to linger on that one. So I can make it work if I... That's a pain that's going to linger again. Let's see. Well, anyway, this was one of my beloved characters. Did you love him as much as I loved him? Did you have either of the dolls? Do you know anything about the other doll? Please leave it in the comment section below. And before we go, please don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe. It means the world to me, especially the liking and the subscribing. If you want to go another step and share it on your favorite social media, that's awesome. Let people know about this amazing content you're getting here on Retro Cereal. And also, want to donate some to your hard-earned cash, follow the link below to the Buy Me a Coffee, hit the bell notification, all that good stuff. And this is going to be back here. You'll be able to see this back here, somewhere back here. It might change places as this place grows, but it'll be back here and you can look at it. Thank you for joining me today. I'm Ian C. This has been Retro Cereal. We will catch you again on another episode.